Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is David Thompson and this is Thompson TV. Yeah, this is my show called Open the Third Eye, where I will be giving news on third eye events and paranormal events. Yeah, I've been away for a little while, guys. I've been kind of busy with something that's coming up, and I'm going to keep you guys in tune. Like I said, I'm going to be reopening my website so I can give you guys the things that you need to open up your third eye, to help you decalcify, and other tools to help you activate. And I got some good information on that. I'm not going to tell you guys now. It's some really great information. I'm going to start on this challenge or this process within a week, and I'm going to keep you guys posted because this is some of the best information that I came across yet, and it's real ancient. And yeah, when I get there, I'm going to make sure you guys get there. Alright. Well, what is it with the pineal gland, right? Everybody's always talking about it on the internet. But when you meet and you talk to people, nobody really knows about it, right? Like, I really can't walk down the street and just start talking about the pineal gland. Like, a lot of people have no idea what the pineal gland is. And better yet, not just the pineal gland, but a lot of people don't have any idea what the third eye is. Why would they know what the third eye is if they don't know what the pineal gland is? Or vice versa, right? Well, the pineal gland is the size of a pea now, at this stage in humanity. It's located in the membrane. It helps the endorphin system, the endocrine system, and it secretes hormones. So in some sense, it controls your state of being and your consciousness, your state of being, right? It secretes serotonin, melatonin, and dopamine. Now, all three of these things do different things as to make you excited, make you relaxed, and make you feel comfortable or happy. So that's why this is very important. And with those hormones, you can regulate the body, because our bodies are all messed up. Our minds are all messed up. But if our system was clear and good, if the pineal was clear and good and decalcified, your weight would be perfect. Your mood will be perfect. Your life will be perfect. You'll feel happy and excited all the time. Have you ever thought about that? Just being happy and excited for no reason all the time. You can just flow with everything in life. For some people, that's just a dream. But it's the absolute truth. If you decalcify your pineal gland, nothing in this world will be out of your reach. You will be on your way to maximizing your full potential, or at least reaching a very high potential in this human state. A lot of people end up getting cancers and all sorts of body ailments and mental ailments, and this has a lot to do with the pineal gland, because the pineal gland has a lot to do with the consciousness and your intelligence. And intelligence can go back and forth in different ways and what people think intelligence is. But our intellect that kills us, our thoughts that kills us, because, you know, when we're at work or we're doing whatever, and even right now as you guys listen to me here, you're probably pondering and wondering about all sorts of things right now, and your mind's completely gone. Come back here with your mind's probably completely gone, thinking about something else. And a lot of the time, unfortunately, those thoughts are not healthy. And I will remember the name later. I think it's Adimogo. I don't want to kill this name, but the Japanese scientist that did the experiment with water. And now we have the understanding that electricity and thoughts can affect water. That's why in India it's so important to have water in an isolated area that's the water is going to only be touched by happy thoughts. Like, if you're truly into health and you know about this, there's some people in wherever, not just India, but some people who are just really aware and very dedicated and disciplined. They put their water in a whole different room, and they make sure every time they go into that room that their thoughts appear, and that the water is in like steel or glass, and there's definitely no fluoride, any junk inside that water, no metals that can harm the body. It's just fresh water, pure water, because water has such an effect on your well-being. Because all the water that we have in our body, on top of that with our thoughts, because our thoughts affect the water in our body. So if our thinking is bad and our thinking is affecting the water that is in our body, that will corrupt the body, then corrupt the mind, then corrupt the soul, right? So knowing about these things is very crucial. One second. There's been a discovery on reptiles, that reptiles also have a pineal gland. This is crazy. This is something that I never knew, something that I never even thought about. Like, you know, I'm on a self-discovery path, not really looking about animals. But there's an old fossil that was found by a French paleontologist, and that's how he said it. He said that when reptiles were cold-blooded, their pineal gland was intact, and now that they're moving to warm-blooded, their pineal gland is actually going away. And they're really looking at it as evolution, and they're trying to pinpoint when reptiles came from cold-blooded to warm-blooded. And they were saying that, you know, like I was saying in the beginning of this video, what is the use of the pineal gland, right? Because it's actually like an eye. It has its own retina and everything. It looks identical to an eye, even though we also say it looks like a pine cone, but one in the both. If you look at a pine cone, it can also look like an eye if you point it down, right? Well, I'm going to get into something else too that's very relative. Well, let me hop into there and hop back. They said back in the day, our pineal gland was used as an actual eye. That's why they call it the third eye. But it was more like a sensory gland. And it still is, but it's a higher sensory gland. It was actually used to for sounds, feelings, for visions. It was for like cavemen, but to keep them safe, to have us react in our animal state. So as we was in that primal state, like we can just fall into our instincts because the pineal gland was active. It was to the point that we can hear things that we can't hear now. We can see farther than we can see. We can also visualize and get a type of vision, and we can feel feel way farther and way different things. Just like the animals nowadays that we know, probably even your dog, they can sense the weather, right? Well, back in the day, we were just like that. Imagine that. Back in the day, we was more advanced when it came to certain consciousness features inside the brain. But as you listen to these gurus, these teachers now that are actually enlightened, that are actually one with all, they will tell you that the intelligence, the intellect, is the thing that is dumbing us down. Our own intellect is working against us because how we are trained to always second guess ourselves to the point that we feel that we are always incorrect. In some way, this is a plus, depending on where you're trying to apply that. So we can always move forward. You know what I'm saying? If we don't think that we're righteous all the time, we have space to move forward and progress. But in this day and age, we're at a point that fear attacks us because we're unsure to the point that we make no movements. We want no change. We're afraid of newness. And even though this is ancient, this is when we began. When we was first born, the first human beings had pineal glands. But this is new information. Why? It's not new. It's hidden. So you're going to tell me in school they couldn't teach us about the pineal gland? Right? They told us about it, but it was just they just glazed right over it, right? They didn't tell us anything significant about it. They didn't tell us about how fluoride attacks it and how all of these foods and this and that can affect it and destroy it, and how it can downgrade your intelligence, how it can downgrade your emotions, how it can really play a big factor in your life, right? They never said anything like that. That's just kind of weird, if you ask me. Well, with the reptiles, they use it to sense light because it is a retina. It's an eye. It has it has a retina. It's an eye, and it allows them to be able to tell if it's day or night. It's like their calendar. It allows them to track the seasons, so they know what to do within which season. And without the pineal gland, you can see, as I said, the cold-blooded reptiles had the pineal gland, and the warm-blooded did not. It also allowed them to regulate their body temperature and also their metabolism, because the melatonin and things like that. This is pretty cool that we can see these features in reptile brains. Like a primal animal as a reptile, we can see this in them. It's pretty damn cool, if you ask me. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all that I'm saying. Alright, well, what I was looking up was, by 1 year of age, that amount drops to about 65%. What am I saying? In an adult man, about 60% of their bodies have water. Now, being an adult, 60% of your body has water, right? So 60% of your body is being affected every millisecond by your consciousness. So act like you are extremely fit or extremely overweight, however you are right now. However your body looks, that is your being. That's what you created with this head, this mind, right? That's your standard, like Tony Roberts says. That's your standard of being. That's your vibration. That's how you are resonating when it comes to your physical body and how you like to operate in this world. Now, a lot of people always say, you know, these are physical material things. This is true, absolutely. But you have to cherish your body because it's your vehicle. Like, I'm positive that you don't go scratching on your car, that you don't let people use your car, that you ask people for gas money if they want rides, right? But you don't care about your body though. That's crazy. Like, you don't care about what fuel goes in your body, but if your car needs a certain kind of fuel, you'll make sure not to put in regular if it doesn't take regular. If you need diesel and you're driving a truck, you're not going to put in no regular because you know you're going to break down the engine, right? But in this body, in this engine, you don't care. Whatever you can grab, you just throw it right in. But at the same time, you say that you want something better for yourself. Now, these things do affect the pineal gland and your third eye. Like, we want to progress, but we don't want to do the things that we need to progress. It's amazing, man, that there's so many foods in the market that's full of fluoride. It's really so hard to escape in the United States. I want to look that up. How much fluoride do we have in the United States? How much fluorinated food do we have in the United States? Right? Because I know that when you go to other countries, as I went to Italy, you can't bring our food over there. They don't want no part of it. They call it contraband, right? How's our food contraband? That's just insane. Why don't other countries use fluoride in their toothpaste? If it's so good, right? Oh yeah, I got the fluorinated toothpaste. And you think you're doing good. It's a big conspiracy, right? You check. Once you get a pH tester, see how acidic your water is, your food is, and chew it up, spit it on the tester. Do whatever you gotta do. It's just the truth, right? So if you're trying to advance in well-being, if you're trying to get this pineal gland decalcified, if you're trying to get the benefits of the third eye, that energy, that beautiful, oh my God, like my body shakes when I think about the feeling that you can achieve when you have a decalcified pineal gland. Like just the high states of meditation that you can fall into, and you just get that bliss, like, oh my God, it's incredible. Like, gotta have it. If you can have that all day, like, what else would you want in this world? Really though. And it's funny, you know, the USDA, they have the claim that fluoride is good for us because it's natural, because it's like 0.99999 in breast milk, but it's 0.99999. It's not even 1. but they feed us fluoride like it was candy, right? Like, this is just crazy. See, the average level of fluoride in these products generally range from 0.01 to 0.1 ppm, parts per million. And this is an article on naturally occurring levels of fluoride in fresh food. This is natural fluoride, right? This is just like fluoride coming naturally out of breast milk, and it's 0.00.99999, whatever, 0.09999, whatever. It didn't even hit the point. It didn't even hit 0.1. But we gotta protect the pineal gland. That's why I always talk about the pineal gland. A lot of people just talk about the third eye, but if you can't get your pineal gland right, there's no third eye for you. There's no third eye for you, buddy, if you can't get the pineal gland right. Believe me. Like, a big thing is to stay away from people that's always talking shit, right? That's always talking shit, that always got something bad to say, that always is a humbug, that's always dragging feet. Lazy people. You don't want to be around lazy people. Like, you got a lot of lazy people at my work. I'm nowhere near those guys, man. They're always like, oh man, they only pay me this much, I ain't doing that. Why'd you come to work then? You could have stayed at home, right? So you're disrespecting yourself coming to a place that you're not willing to put your all, or you're not willing to move forward and just do what you're paid to do, because you can always leave. That's an option to show up. So that's giving yourself, that's telling yourself that, okay, I'm not gonna put effort forward, but I'm still gonna have effort enough to show up, but I just don't like to fully engage or to follow through in life. That's just me. So I'm just gonna show up and get a paycheck. That's how you feel about life? That's why you are where you are. So stay away from people like that, especially if you want to succeed in life. Because people that are happy and joyful, their pineal gland is less corroded, less corrupted than everybody else's. If you're full with joy and that pineal gland is secreting that melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, you feeling great, you're kicking, you got energy, you know? Like, you exercising, you know, all your hormones are kicking, right? You got your adrenaline going, you got your testosterone levels going, you got your estrogen if you're doing cardio. Man, this is life. Life is beautiful. People are always stressed out. There's nothing to stress out about, as long as if you're doing what you have to do. Now, there's a lot of people that occasionally ask me about cannabis, about weed, marijuana, right? And what does it do for the third eye? And they feel like, you know, they have a little more success with third eye events, experiences, when they take a little bit of cannabis. Now, this is kind of on the rocker, because to be honest, I personally, I don't know. But like, I don't smoke weed. Back in the day I did, and it's true, yeah, you know, it's a psychedelic. It's a small psychedelic. So you start to see things, start to think different thoughts. But I do know that even when you're taking something that's toxic for the brain, for the mind, that kills a couple of brain cells, slow down the neurons, mess up your thinking, how it usually would be, it's still insightful. It's very insightful. You know, it's all about stretching. The more knowledge, the more experiences you have in this world can get you to the next stage. That can help you open up your pineal gland. Because change change will help decalcify the pineal gland. And I know it sounds weird when you're saying like thought and actions that have nothing to do with ingesting foods or supplements, or even meditation or vibration of the pineal gland can decalcify the pineal gland, but it's absolutely true. You know why? Because it's about state of being. You are vibrating. You are a vibration. If you step off of this planet and you're seen by a highly advanced civilization, they're going to read your vibration. They're not going to look at your body. They're not going to ask you for your name. Unless if they just want you to feel comfortable and stick in with our terms of life. But they're going to be reading your vibration. And your vibration shows about what you're thinking about. What's your intention towards life? How do you feel? That's what it's all about. So when you do different things, when you open up your mind, you open up your reality, these things open up your paradigm. It opens up how you see the world. And when you see the world different and that expands, your intellect expands. And that pineal gland becomes more decalcified. Right? So again, on the weed, when it comes to dream time, let me say, with the pineal gland, I don't think that is that useful, because weed stunts your memory as long as you're high. It doesn't kill your memory long term or anything like that. That's a myth that was proven wrong. But how are you going to experience out of body astral projection, or lucid dream, or just regular dream state if you can't remember it? Being on marijuana, your memory is no good. So even if you're having some kind of experience, like, it's no good. Like, you can't file it. You can't hold it as an actual experience, so you can't expand. So if you ask me, like, weed is not the way to go, because we smoke weed, right? We don't indulge in weed like it's a beer at a party, like one beer or something like that. It's not a casual thing. Like, oh, I got some friends over, you know, take a couple puffs, I just want to relax, you know. It's not like that. You see people going home and then throwing back bags. They're just sitting there, they smoke, get high, and they stay at home. They don't do anything. And they do this every day. Now that's called abuse. Drug abuse. When you're abusing something like that, you're not growing. It's a form of insanity. And you're actually stunting your life. You're just wasting away. Like, there's no experiences happening. You're trying to reenact the same experience completely over and over. You're trying to avoid life. You're trying to escape. Right? So you're backtracking if you're just smoking weed all day the Rastafari way. It just doesn't work. Right. That's just. Well, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on marijuana. And yeah, like, some yogis, well, the yogis say that you don't need that anyway, because if you achieve third eye being open or decalcifying the pineal gland, you'll feel great anyway, so you won't need it. And at the same time, the smoke, it damages the brain. So you think about that. Alright. See, we gotta set up ways to put practices aside to get the pineal gland decalcified. Like meditation. Meditation is huge. A lot of people don't want to partake into meditation, but that's one thing that you definitely should do. Like yoga also. Yoga is fantastic. It's a sure shot way if you stay with it and you do it right. And I don't mean American yoga. I mean, you gotta get some real yoga teacher that knows the science of spirituality, because that's what it is. And they will open you up. And like I said before, like on my next video, my next podcast like this, I'm gonna give you guys some other tips on decalcifying the pineal gland, because there's certain things that I'm taking right now that I just figured out about, that I have in my pineal gland pulsate like crazy, and it detoxifies it, and it gets you where you want to be. It definitely got me feeling good, giving me a little bit more energy than I usually have, you know.
What are you doing?
So, a thing that I ran across was Nityananda. Nityananda is an enlightened guru from India. I used to listen to Nityananda when I just found out about metaphysics and spirituality. And Nityananda, he is like the flip side to Sadhguru. That's Sad S-U-D-H-G-U-R-U. Sadhguru. He's the flip side of Sadhguru. See, Sadhguru to me is the highest of the high when it comes to enlightened beings that is in public eye at the least. Like, if you're listening to him, you really want to make a change holistically, and a permanent change, not like you want something instantly just to get a little touch, get a little sight, and then go back to your normal day-to-day. Sadhguru will put you on a path that will get you right. And if you ever have the time, money, or the resources to go and see this man live, you will become well, let's not say enlightened, because that's a huge jump, but you will have your pineal gland open. And the same thing with Nityananda. But Nityananda is more governed towards Hinduism. Sadhguru, he has no religion, he has no education, he's very highly intelligent, but he's extremely open-minded, because he knows so much. He's incredible. Look him up if you don't know who this guy is. And I'm not trying to promote these guys. It's just like when you have such a high level of just being you, that just radiates and it promotes itself. And I'm just happy to be able to come in contact with the information, so I want to share that. But anyway, Nityananda, on the flip side, he talks about paranormal things. He talks about the third eye, how to open it. Sadhguru does too, but he tells you, you know, these are ways you got to do it. These are the elements you got to go through. And these are the yogas you should go through. And if you come here, we can make sure that it's the right way. And Nityananda, he'll tell you about the pineal gland, and he'll tell you some ways to detoxify it and what's the possibilities. Like Sadhguru does not like to put your brain out here in left field and say, oh yeah, the third eye is capable of this and that, and oh yeah, he had these kind of powers and have these kind of things going on, like things that are not currently in your reach. Like if you're going there for help, you are far from the supernatural or the above normal states of being, like just walking out of your body, being able to read things through walls, being able to feel people's past, like, you know what I'm saying, feel images and things like that, and being able to transport the whole body, the physical body, not just the mind, to a different location. But Nityananda, he goes into details of these things Sadhguru likes to take care of things that truly matter here and now. So when it does come time for that, you're going to be extremely grounded and extremely ready to just go full-fledged forward. But both approaches are leading in the same path, and they're both good. So it's good to look at both of them because their information is completely different, but sort of the same. Now back to what I was saying. I was watching Nithyananda, and he was talking about fluoride. You know, how it's in the pineal gland and the metals that are in our water. And he was given a technique on how to decalcify the pineal gland an easy way, fantastic way. And he was also given a demonstration of some kids that he activated after decalcification. He activated the energetic third eye of the pineal gland, and they gave a demonstration of the power of that, small power of that. And he had these young kids blindfolded with napkins on their eyes, then a blindfold over top, and then they had people from the stands coming by writing things down. They was writing things down on a piece of paper, and then the kids would look through the blindfolds and read the paper. And then they even moved it to a higher level. They had a girl come through and read things through the wall that people were just writing. Now, because this had been staged, of course it could have been staged, but I believe that it was the truth, because why would you go through all of that on live TV just to embarrass yourself when you're speaking on your own name, saying that you can recreate this for anybody? See, now his program was just for kids at that moment, and now at this stage, 2017, this video is taking place, he has it now for adults, even though it is harder because our pineal glands are a lot smaller and more calcified than a child's. But he has moved his program to an advanced stage so that adults can also do these demonstrations and display the third eye. So yeah, guys, look into that. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to break into something that's beyond our knowing. So F, you work on the third eye. What comes with that, and why would you do that? Number one, you will sleep great. You'll feel great in the morning. Number two, you'll be able to lucid dream. Number three, you'll be able to step out of your body and have astral projections also. Number four, you'll be able to fall into the psychic world and be able to receive information from nowhere. Number five, also with information from nowhere, you can be able to contact beings that you never knew existed. Number six, you will start to learn about things that couldn't be taught to you. You would just know everything about your own body. So once you know everything about the body, you will know everything about things on earth, period. Because they fall into the same cycle. So I'm gonna stop at I'm gonna stop right there, and I want to shut this video down. The next podcast that I have like that, if you guys have any comments, I'm gonna actually answer your comments, and I'm gonna try to answer these comments now anyway. So if you guys have any questions or any things that you guys want me to talk about on my next podcast, please shoot. Because this is very important for you to log in, because I'm going to tell you something great that you can do that's extremely easy to decalcify the pineal gland and get on your path to becoming closer to getting your third eye open. Thank you for watching Thompson TV, and give me a thumbs up if you like the new podcast called Open the Third Eye Open. Third Eye Open. And please subscribe and share this video and get me out there. Peace. See you on the next podcast.